The future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be very expansive by both Disney, Lucasfilm, and Marvel, and a lot of people are wondering exactly what's to come in the future. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I don't know if you guys heard the big news today. It all has to do with Chuck Wendig and the series called Shadows of Vader. Now, the Shadow of Vader comic line was actually supposed to reveal the shocking revelations of the character of Darth Vader, and also the lives affected by the Sith Lord throughout all different eras. The Resistance era, the Republic era, and of course the Rebellion era. It was going to explore all these different aspects of Darth Vader and his life and how he impacted others throughout the entire galaxy, as well as learning more details about the character of Vader that would really add more detail and change how we look at the character in the movies. Now, you guys may have heard that Chuck Wendig just a couple of weeks ago was actually fired from the project itself, Shadow of Vader. Now, just today, we learned that the Shadow of Vader comic line was canceled altogether. So Disney, Marvel, they threw this in the trash, and this was going to be a big project. It was going to be a huge comic line that would reveal a lot of shocking revelations for the character of Darth Vader. And the reason as to why a lot of people were really looking forward to this is because this comic line was actually going to involve characters from Aftermath, a glimpse of Singer, the Acolytes of the Beyond, and some Snap Wexley, and some Death Star morgue attendant. Now, these issues were written, at least some art was done for issue number 1. They didn't really get too much done for the series overall, but this was really going to explore new details about the character of Darth Vader and other characters that are connected to Vader. I think that the more interesting part about the series was the Acolytes of the Beyond. I don't know if you guys know them, but if you guys read a lot of the books under the Disney canon, you do learn that the Acolytes of the Beyond are actually believed to be these individuals that came across Darth Vader's lightsaber, that sold it off to somebody else, and that could very well be how Supreme Leader Snoke and/or Kylo Ren has it on board of the Supremacy or one of the First Order finalizers. So here's my problem with everything, Star Wars related, is that we've been seeing a lot of these trends when it comes to movies, video games, comics, always currently in the works and then ultimately becoming canceled. A great example is the video game by Visceral. I don't know if you guys heard, but Visceral was actually going to develop a Star Wars video game that was going to be about this bounty hunter-esque figure. It almost looked like Star Wars 1313 in my book. That was canceled. Multiple Star Wars movie projects and live-action TV series and different solo films were also canceled, including the Boba Fett movie. The other thing is, of course, this comic line now. The Shadow of Vader comic line that would reveal tons of new details about the character of Darth Vader. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we've been seeing this trend constantly between movies, video games, and now comics. And it really does change our perspective on the security of a certain project that either Disney, Lucasfilm, or Marvel are currently working on. I think that it does add this way of thinking in your mind where you're looking forward to a certain project, whether that's going to be a Star Wars movie, comic, video game, book, novel, whatever it may be. And now we're pretty much, tuned to thinking about the possibility that this project, whatever it is, movie, video game, or comic, could be canceled in 30 days, 6 months from now, or maybe even a year from now, just before production ends. Now, one would definitely say that Chuck Wendig deserved to be fired off of this project, which ultimately led it to becoming canceled. I guess they couldn't find anybody else to work on this, or anybody else that was qualified that would match his vision or something around those lines. I'm not quite sure, but I, for one example here, believe that he should have been fired. I think that was the right choice. The terrible things that he wrote on Twitter, the amount of things that he said on Twitter, I'm not going to say that on here, obviously, but the things that he said on there, I think was just uncalled for. I think it was pretty offensive to a lot of people out there, and I think it's just something that if you're associated with, Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, you shouldn't be able to say all these different things on social media because this is all public. So I think that, you know, when we're looking at Chuck Wendig and his situation, how he was fired from Marvel, Disney, whatever have you, and they were really trying their very best in order to keep this project going, and they ultimately canceled it. This does bring up the big question for sure. Now, next year, all right, 2019 is when we were supposed to get all these different new details about Darth Vader, all these shocking revelations that would really kind of open our eyes for the characters that are involved or actually connected to Darth Vader in the Star Wars universe. I think that the one thing that I personally was looking forward to the most was learning more about the Acolytes of the Beyond. They are a mysterious group of figures that we haven't really seen exactly too much. We've only heard about them on and off throughout some of the books and the novels. So the Acolytes of the Beyond, I think, because of what we have been going over for Star Wars Episode 9, I think that they're going to have some kind of role in the Star Wars Episode 9 movie itself or the novelization, which will explain as to how Kylo Ren and or Snoke got their hands on the Darth Vader melted helmet at first. So I would love to hear your opinion about all of this below in the comments section. Do you think this is like a trend now between Disney, Lucasfilm, and Marvel, where they're working on a specific project, and then a lot of those projects eventually, you know, are halted or put on hold or ultimately just canceled altogether? Because we've seen this constant trend of that and different firings of directors, writers, you know, it goes all across the board here. So I would really love to hear what you guys have to say below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.